Well, thank you very much, and hello, Tupelo. This is great to be with you tonight, the great state of Mississippi. The great state of Mississippi, and by the way, the birthplace of a gentleman, not too many people heard of him, Elvis Presley. But to be with thousands of incredible patriots who put their faith in God, family, and country. Right? 4 days from now, this state will head to the polls and vote to continue our extraordinary progress with your next governor, Republican Tate Reeves. Great guy. Great guy. Under Republican leadership, jobs are booming, confidence is soaring, wages are rising, crime is falling, and our nation is stronger than ever before. We're now an economic powerhouse. We've never been in a position like it. We've rebuilt our military, and we have financial strength. And by the way, for those of you with a thing called 401ks, the stock market hit today another all-time historic high. Unemployment in Mississippi has reached the lowest rate ever recorded. Ever recorded. That's not bad. That's not bad when you're on the debate stage and you say we have the best economy we've ever had, we have the best military we've ever had, the best unemployment and employment numbers we've ever had. Said, got the best president we've ever had. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And very importantly, we've confirmed more than 158 brand new, beautiful federal judges to uphold our Constitution as written. In a very short while, we'll have 182 federal judges. President Obama left us 142. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, President Obama. He left us 142 openings. Can you believe that? You're supposed to leave none when you leave office, but that didn't work out too well. And just days ago, the United States brought the world's #1 terrorist leader to justice. We have great military. It was very, very depleted. When I came into office, it was very, very depleted, but it ain't depleted anymore. Yeah, al-Baghdadi, the founder and leader. Look, you know, you've heard about him for a long time. I kept saying, where is al-Baghdadi? That's the one I want. Where is he? And then, by the way, the following day, we got #2. I don't know if you read about that. But he was the founder and the leader of ISIS, and he's dead. And Baghdadi, he was a savage and soulless monster, but his reign of terror is over. American special operators executed a masterful raid that ended his wretched life and punched out his ticket to hell, I guess you could say. He spent his last miserable moments on earth cowering and trembling and crying in fear of the American warrior that was right there going right up. No enemy stands a chance against the righteous might of the United States military. And Mississippi loves our military, that I can tell you. And our military loves Mississippi. America is winning again, and America is all over the world respected again. It's about time. But while we're creating jobs and killing terrorists, the Democrat Party has gone completely insane. The radical left is determined to transform America into a country you would not recognize. We are the ones standing in their way, and we will never get out of their way. It will be easy. From even before we won the election, the far-left Democrats and the fake news media, right back there, look at all of them, oh. It's too bad we get such good ratings, because if we didn't, they wouldn't be here. Look at how many. It's like the Academy Awards before it failed, right? And you know why it failed? Because they disrespected us. But the media and the Democrats have been engaged in a corrupt partnership trying to impose their will and to thwart American democracy by any means necessary. You see what's going on. First, they engineered the Russia hoax. That was a total hoax. The single greatest lies ever foisted upon the American people. Then the Mueller witch hunt. It never ended. With 18 angry Democrats and an unlimited budget. Let's go get him. That didn't work out too well, did it? That fizzled. And a lot of bad people along the way. And now corrupt politicians Nancy Pelosi and shifty Adam Schiff, shifty, and the media are continuing with the deranged impeachment witch hunt. This is one I never thought I'd be involved in. The word impeachment, to me, it's a dirty word, not a good word. Totally phony deal. They know it. Everybody knows it. And that's why we've never had greater support than we have right now. It's true. It's true. And if you think you have a lot of people in this room, all you have to do is go outside. You'll see a lot more people trying to get in. So if anybody wants to give up your seat, please just walk out. Somebody. Anybody want to leave? Because there really is, there's no place better to have a rally, to have a good time, and to also, at the same time, be very serious than at a Trump rally, especially on Friday night in Mississippi. We could have done this one on Monday night. He said, let's do Friday, right? Friday's good. Yesterday, the Democrats voted to potentially nullify the votes of 63 million Americans, disgracing themselves and bringing shame upon the House of Representatives. They've been plotting to overthrow the election since the moment I won, but the people here that are highly sophisticated know long before I won. 19 minutes after I took the oath of office, the horrible newspaper, fake, Washington Post, declared the campaign to impeach President Trump has just begun. At least they gave us 19 minutes. Yesterday's vote by the radical Democrats is an attack on democracy itself. But I'll tell you, the Republicans are really strong, the strongest I've ever seen them, the most unified I've ever seen them. Right? The most unified I've ever seen them. The American people are fed up with Democrat lies, hoaxes, and extremism. The Democrats' outrageous conduct has created an angry majority that will vote many do-nothing Democrats out of office in 2020. Make no mistake, they are coming after the Republican Party and me because I'm fighting for you. They don't like it. This is different. They've never had anything like this. Well, they've never had an election like 2016 either, have they? They've never had. They've never quite figured it out. And they know they can't win. So let's try and impeach him. How about that crazy Representative Al Green, right? You know, we got to impeach him because we can't beat him. I don't think so, right? I don't think so. Al Green, he's another beauty. The Democrats, the media, and the deep state are desperate to stop us. And it's not me, it's us, it's all of us. It's 63 million, but it's much more than 63 million, much more. And right now, our numbers are higher than they've ever been before. So, you know, they've never been this low. But they want to stop us because they know we are here, and that's what we're doing, and that's what's taken up so much time. We're draining the swamp in Washington. Nothing terrifies Democrats more than the fact that all of their spying, they actually spied on my campaign. Can you believe it? I mean, you know, they try and say, well, we were actually just checking things out. Oh, that's wonderful. The lying, the falsifying over the past 3 years plus, before I ever even announced they were spying. I guess they knew we were going to win, right? But over that past more than 3 years is finally being exposed. And remember this, that truth is a force of nature. Desperate to conceal their misdeeds, the Democrats are now attacking us for calling out the grave corruption of the Bidens, just like they melted down when we pointed out crooked Hillary's shocking and very many misdeeds. $33,000 emails. 33,000 emails disappeared. But she said they only had to do with her working out and her daughter's wedding. 30. She's a beauty. How about last week? Did you hear? I don't know who Tulsi Gabbard is, but I know one thing. She's not an agent of Russia. And Jill Stein, she's a greenie. That's fine. We love the environment, everybody in this room. You know, right now we have the cleanest air and the cleanest water that we've ever had, and yet we're #1 in the world in energy by far. We took over. But I don't know Jill Stein. She ran last time. I don't know her, but I know she's not an agent of Russia. And when Hillary made those statements, 2 statements, both of them, they work for Russia, they're agents of Russia. I said, you know, when she made that statement about me 3 years ago, it took me 2 years to get out of that hoax statement. She made it about them, everybody laughed, because of what we proved. But I'll tell you what, these are very bad people, these are very dishonest people, and the media is worse than all of them. But think about the preposterous hoax the Democrats are now trying to peddle. I've just beaten with no political, look, we didn't have too much political experience. I did a good job, built lots of buildings all over the place, had great success in show business, just did one show, it was called The Apprentice, and it was a big success. 14 seasons, and when I left, Crazy Arnold took over. It didn't do too well. It was dead. It was dead from the first episode. I saw him, I said, oh, it's terrible. What have they done to this beautiful show? Arnold. But think of it, I've just beaten with no political experience the Clinton dynasty, the Bush dynasty, the President Barack Hussein Obama dynasty. And President Obama worked harder at defeating me than crooked Hillary Clinton did, right? He was all over the place. It's the only time I've actually seen him work hard, when he came to trying to beat Trump. True. Remember he said, he will not be president. Well, that didn't work out so well. And then they figured they could take us out a different way, very dishonestly, right? With the lying and the spying and the leaking. And we are kicking their ass, I'll tell you. In the delusional Democrat fantasy, I'm now supposed to be afraid of someone called 1% Joe. I used to call him 1% because he could never get 1% in the primaries. Then he got brought out by Obama out of the trash heap, became vice president. But we've now named him Very Slow Sleepy Joe. Very slow. He's gotten slower and slower. I'm afraid if he gets a nomination, he'll be so slow. We'll have the lowest rated debates in history, as opposed to the highest rated debates in history against crooked Hillary. In fact, I don't even think that Sleepy Joe will get it, but many people are running. So, you know, it's so early. I don't want to talk about their campaign. Oh, did you hear? Beto, did you hear? Beto. Oh, that poor bastard. Well, poor pathetic guy. He was pathetic. Remember, the arms are flailing. It's all. Remember that? You know, he ran against Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz won. He spent almost $100 million. And Ted Cruz and I helped Ted, and we campaigned together, and it was good. But I used to watch him. Then when he came onto the really big stage, this crazy stage, I noticed he was flailing with the arms, and he was standing on tables. He was standing on countertops. I said, does he ever like stand on the floor and speak? But he's waving his arms and going crazy. And I said, what the hell is he doing? What is he on? And you remember he made the statement that he was born for this. Anybody that says he was born for this, they're in trouble. You know, I used to have guys come into my office, sir, I'm the greatest salesman. Nobody can sell. You know, the truth is, anybody that says they're a great salesman, usually they're not a very good salesman. It's true. It's those sneaky ones in the back that don't talk, that you don't know about. They're the ones. But Beto was nasty. And he said that he was born for it. Like he was born from heaven. He came down. And if that's the case, some really bad things happened because he made a total fool out of himself. And he came out of Texas, the great state of Texas. He came out of Texas, a very hot political property, and he went back as cold as you can be. So he was a nasty guy. But he had a couple of policies that don't work well in the state of Texas, right? He was against religion. He was against you having a gun. And he was against oil. So you come from Texas, you don't like religion, you don't like oil, and you don't have guns. I don't know, that's not a good combination in the state of Texas. That's not good in Mississippi either. I don't know, is that good? Is that good anyway? No, he went back home to Texas, and hopefully we won't be hearing about him for a long time. It's amazing how cold you can get so quickly, but he was a nasty guy. But in the twist, oh, Alabama. Love Alabama. I love Alabama. I love Alabama. It's a great place. But in the very twisted and corrupt world of Adam Schiff, after beating the entire political establishment, and that means Bush, and that means Clinton, and that means Obama, they have me supposedly saying to myself, well, let's see. I got a guy named Sleepy Joe Biden. How do I beat him? How do I beat him? How do I beat this guy? He's such a great Clinton. She was easy, right? Obama was easy. The Bush dynasty was easy. But Sleepy Joe, I'm worried about, right? So then I said to myself, gee, I guess there's only one way. Let's call up Ukraine for help. These people are sick. These people are sick. Now, these dishonest people will take the last little sliver and the first little sliver, and they'll put it, because they're so damn dishonest, and they'll just say, let's use Ukraine for help. That's what they're going to say. And they won't show the laughter, and they won't show the sarcasm, and they won't show the fun, because they're the most dishonorable people almost on earth. It's a disgrace. But we say it anyway. And here's the good news, the people get it. So they have a brand new president in Ukraine, good guy, by the way. And I call a brand new person, a man I have no idea who he is. And I'm on a phone, right? And I know many people are on the phone, because when you call the leaders of country, many people listen. And I'm on the phone, and they want me to say to this brand new president who just got there, called to congratulate him, please, could you help me, please? I don't know who he is. I didn't know his name until I looked down the card, I say, and he's a nice guy. And hopefully he's going to root out corruption, because Ukraine has tremendous corruption problems. And hopefully, and one of the reasons I held up money, very important, corruption, but the other reason, why isn't Germany and France and UK and all of these European nations that are right there, why aren't they doing things that they're supposed to do? Why is it always the United States? So I made this call, had this wonderful call, and the transcript proves that was, as I said, perfect. It was perfect. It wasn't like almost, it was perfect. It was totally appropriate. I made it at the behest of people to say, could you call and say hello? Now, I'm an honest person anyway, but do you think when I'm making a call to a newly elected president of a country, that I would say something improper when I know there are so many people listening on the line? Many people. All of these people. You had the Secretary of State, Pompeo, great guy. He's listening. You had transcribers, fortunately. You had policy experts, junior aides, low-level staffers, probably apprenti. Whoever the hell wants to listen, they listen. And they have me making some kind of a deal with all these people. And remember, the new president of Ukraine is speaking to the United States of America, the president. I guarantee he's got a lot of people listening to. These people are sick. So corrupt politician, Shifty Adam Schiff, actually stood before Congress and stood before the American people and made up a conversation that he said I had with the Ukrainian president. Unfortunately, now think of it. And many people saw that, and it was a terrible, he said terrible things. The president of Ukraine said it was a very good conversation, there was no pressure. His foreign minister said the same thing, no pressure. They must think we're nuts, to be honest. It's all a phony deal, this whole impeachment scam, to try to undermine the 2020 election and to delegitimize one of the greatest elections, maybe the greatest. I mean, let's give George Washington credit, but everybody expected he was going to win, that we've ever had. So my phone call, which was totally perfect and appropriate, and if you want to read the transcript, you see how perfect it was, but they don't quit. But what you should do is take a look at the behavior of Sleepy Joe. So I quote, I said, let me act like him. I got to speak really slow, though. And I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I looked at them and I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor isn't fired, you're not getting the money. Do you understand? You're not getting the money. Then he goes at the end, I didn't know he had this kind of energy. He goes, well, son of a bitch, he got fired. You know, in a certain way, I was impressed because, I mean, I didn't think he had the energy, the brain power. It's turned out he doesn't. By the way, he's dropping like a rock. You know, when you're at 1%, there's always a reason. He should be there fairly soon. As you know, the Ukrainian prosecutor that Biden got fired after threatening to withhold, I think it was $1 billion or something in aid, was the prosecutor investigating his son's company that was paying Hunter Biden, a guy just got thrown out of the Navy. He was paying him millions of dollars, even though working for an energy company, he had no experience with energy. He knew less about it than this young, how old are you? 6. This young, beautiful person in front of me. Six. And this young 6-year-old is smarter, so I think I'd basically go with her. So, what is it all about? It's called a payoff. But you know what? The fake news, they apologize. I watched this horrible guy who gets lousy ratings, Anderson Cooper. Well, the hatred. I mean, between him and Fredo, you got Fredo. That's Cuomo. Fredo. I call him Fredo. Like from the movie. Now, I watched Anderson Cooper, and I watched him apologize for even asking the question to Biden. The good news is Biden didn't know too much about what the hell he was talking about. Remember, Biden said, I don't know these people. I don't know them. I don't know them. He never spoke to his son about getting millions of dollars. No. He never spoke to him. Didn't happen to speak to him. Think of this. We're dealing with life, right? He never spoke to him. Unfortunately, the next day, you know, in the world of the internet, in the world of smart people, that's why, like, Beto wasn't smart. Couldn't handle it. I told my wife, I said, see, it's not so easy. I told our great First Lady tonight, who people love, they love her. When Beto quit, he quit like a dog. When he quit, I said, see, people think this is easy. This isn't easy. But, you know, it just worked out that way. But Biden said, I never met the people, never met the gentleman. Unfortunately, in about 10 seconds, a picture came out where they're playing golf together. But he never met him. So now you'll ask him, he said, no, we played a round of golf. We were together for 3 hours. I never mentioned the fact that they're paying my son millions. Oh, no, no, no. But the press protects him. Watch this crazy Anderson Cooper, third rate, lousy ratings, third rate person. But listen, CNN, the worst. I mean, the worst. The worst. Whoop. Oh, their light just went off, see? Look, the light was on, they just turned it. They don't like it. You know, it's tough. You fake CNN. No, it's tough. I tried not to do that because I see their light on. You know, when their light goes on, that means you're live. No, that means you're live. And every time, it's tough. Look, in all fairness, they're putting it on. It's a broadcast. Very few people are watching. Well, they might be watching us. I guess they do watch it. But here's the thing. And then you have the guy up there saying that they're fake, that they're no good, that they're liars and cheaters, that they're phonies. It's hard to be broadcasting that when you're talking about the network that has you on, right? So we understand. The light's off. And then, remember this. Anderson Cooper, what a beauty. He used to interview me. He was so nice. Prior to running for politics, he was so nice to me. It was like they were love fests. But I don't want anything to do with him. They were love fests. What a thought. He's weak. He's a weak person. But they're all weak. But let me just tell you something. We need honesty with our media. We need honesty. Because the New York Times, the Washington Post, and by the way, I don't know, you probably read it. We threw them out of the White House. We don't show them anymore. If somebody wants to go and buy them, we threw them out. And they came into my office, and then I got to get back to this guy, Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? You know, we had a T-shirt made, Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? Poor Hunter. He then came out, he did the morning show. That was the last we've seen of Hunter. That wasn't good. The morning of his father's very bad debate. But it's Where's Hunter? But so before I say the final thing on Hunter, and then we put him to rest for a while, we got rid of the Washington Post and the failing New York Times. We got rid of them, right? We don't have them in the White House. No, people can go out and buy them, but we don't. We used to have them stacked up. I'd go in and I'd see a meeting with my people, and they're dealing with China or South Korea or somebody. And I'd go in and I'd go into these offices. I'd see like 10 or 15 of them packed all over the place. The Washington Post, New York Times. I keep trying to figure out who's worse. And, you know, one day it's the Times, one day it's the Post. It's like top each other. They're so bad. It's so phony. It's so, in my opinion, it's virtually corrupt. I've never seen it. You never have a good story. I mean, even when we got al-Baghdadi, the Washington Post had a story that he was like a great religious cleric. Where did that come from? The other thing, if Obama would have done it, because look, this guy built ISIS, the caliphate, it was the size physically of Ohio, the state of Ohio, the great state of Ohio. That's a big lot of land, 7 million people. And they were the ones, the orange jumpsuits. I called a lot of the parents after we did this, and I talked to them, and they were, how can you be happy? But they were so thrilled that we got this animal. They were so thrilled. But you know what? And you know what? We don't do it. We do it because it's right. That story was a massive story. That was the biggest, maybe the biggest, one of the biggest ever. Bigger than anything. That story disappeared so fast. Gone. And that's okay. I didn't do it for the story. I did it because it's the right thing to do. But if I were a Democrat, they'd be talking about that story for weeks. With me, they don't even want to, you know, they actually played it down. And actually, and I'm happy about this, Conan, the dog, got more publicity than me, and I'm very happy about that. Conan is incredible. And Conan's coming to the White House in a few weeks. But it is true. Did you ever see a story disappear so fast? I mean, here, if Obama had that story, that thing would be going on for another 7 months. They'd be talking about his bravery. Oh, so bravery. But again, 142 judges he gave us. Remember that. How can you be a great... You know, they always say the most important thing a president can do is federal judges. We got 2 Supreme Courts. Great ones. Great judge. Gorsuch and Kavanaugh. Great judges. By the way, did you ever see any human being treated worse than now Justice Kavanaugh? Did anybody ever? Was any human being by these people, these horrible, horrible people that we have to deal with? Anyway, just to finish, so Hunter then goes to China. Now I'm dealing with China right now. They don't like me too much. They dream about the day when somebody else, and would they like to have, how about this? You give this son, who has 0 experience with investing too, you give him $1.5 billion to invest, meaning he makes millions and millions of dollars. And the biggest guys on Wall Street can't get it. He walks out with $1.5 billion. And then there are other places also, I understand. Folks, it's disgraceful that the press doesn't cover it for what it is. It's a payoff. It's a payoff. And how would you like to have Sleepy Joe, with the son getting all of this money from China, become president and take over the China deal? They are not liking me. They had the worst year that they've had in 57 years. Their supply chain is broken up like scrambled eggs. And they want to make a deal because those tariffs are giving us millions of dollars and billions now, billions and billions of dollars. We're taking billions and billions of dollars. And you know what we're doing with some of it? Just a small portion, but 100% they're taken care of. Our farmers got $16 billion last year and $12 billion the year before. Because they targeted our farmers, because they know the farmers love Trump and Trump loves the farmers. So they targeted them, and they brought the $16 billion down to practically nothing. And they thought our farmers would say, oh, we don't like Trump. They did just the opposite. They said, we know he's doing the right thing because we've been ripped off for so many years. But I said to Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue, a great guy, I said, Sonny, how much did they spend buying our corn and soybeans and all of our agricultural product? He said, sir, $16 billion. I said, good, I'll make it up. And we're going to have a lot left over. So we will have, pretty soon, over $100 billion in money paid into the United States Treasury by a country that never gave us 10 cents. They only took. They only took. So when I said to the farmers, we're going to send you $16 billion, and it's already been sent, and it's been split, and the $12 billion the year before. I mean, think of that, $28 billion. I said, compliments of China. And we had a lot left over. Not bad, right? Not bad. You think Obama would do that? I don't think so. You think Hillary would do that? I don't think so. You think Sleepy Joe would do that? I don't think so. He wouldn't know what you're talking about. On Tuesday, the proud people of Mississippi will send Democrats a clear message. It's very important for this reason, as well as the fact that you have a great gentleman in your midst. But you have to reject their extremism and their socialism and their corruption. They're corrupt. Adam Schiff is a corrupt politician. You know, when he made that phony speech where he made up a really horrible speech and said that I said it, I said, oh, I'm going to sue him. They said, sir, I'm sorry, you can't. He's got total immunity because he made it in Congress. Can you believe this? But, you know, here's the good news. At least we have a forum. We have a place we can talk so everyone knows what's going on. Bunch of phony people. But this is why we have to send a signal and why you have to make Tate Reeves your great new Republican, right? Republican governor, right? Tate, he's a great guy, too. And all I know is he's loved and respected by your current governor, because Phil is some piece of work. You know, Phil is so confident. I wanted Phil to run for a certain office. Then I wanted him to do something. I've tried to get him. But you know, some guys are confident. Phil said, no, sir, I've been doing this all my life. I love the people. He built the most beautiful African-American museum. Phil, he's the greatest. But he built the most beautiful. But he's got confidence. And he said, no, sir, I've been doing it. I don't really want to do that. In other words, he said, that's enough. Most people are so insecure. They keep going and going and going. It's not good. I like Phil's attitude better. But Phil is great. But I'm going to introduce Phil in a second. But Tate Reeves, who Phil endorses and views as a champion for your state, and really a champion for Mississippi values. And Tate helped cut your taxes over 50 times, including the largest tax cut in Mississippi history. Tate is pro-worker, he's pro-jobs, he's pro-family, he's pro-life. Tate is a true leader in the fight to protect the unborn, which the other side is not. Tate Reeves will support our police, oppose sanctuary. Oh, we love our police, right? I love our police. We love our police. He'll oppose sanctuary cities, which is just terrible. They're terrible. And Tate will always defend your Second Amendment. So Tate's running against a liberal Democrat named Jim Hood. Now, all I know about Jim Hood is he fought very hard to elect crooked Hillary Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama. Isn't that nice? He wanted Obama to win so badly, and then he wanted Hillary to win, and that's not the kind of guy we need here, not in Mississippi. He's supported by extreme leftists like Stacey Abrams, who, by the way, went down to defeat in front of a terrific gentleman from the great state of Georgia, Brian Kemp. And they came in with, they brought them all. They had President Obama, they had Michelle Obama, they had Oprah Winfrey. They came in, and all he had was Donald Trump. And we won. We won. Fairly easily. But Stacey Abrams wants to give illegal aliens the right to vote. Do you believe this? I mean, some of these people, they want to give them education, they want to give them this, they want to give them free health care. They want to give these people that come into our country illegally more advantages than our own citizens have, more advantages that our own military has. Jim Hood wants to raise your taxes. He supports taxpayer funding for abortion providers. He supports illegal immigration of all benefits. And he opposed our travel ban, which is so important that we won in the United States Supreme Court to keep terrorists the hell out of our country. And Jim Hood went to the United Nations and opposed your right to self-defense. If you don't want a far-left Democrat running Mississippi, wait a minute, how is this guy? You know, I can't believe this is a competitive race. It's like embarrassing. I'm talking to Mississippi, you know? I'm talking to Mississippi. I can't believe it. I don't think that he's going to be the right guy. I think the guy that you want is Tate Reeves. He's going to be fantastic. He will be a great, great governor. Tate, come on up. Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mississippi welcomes you because Mississippi is Donald J. Trump country. We gave you almost 60% of the vote in 2016, and next year we're going to do even better. And the reason is because President Trump is a strong leader. He is the right leader to defeat the radical liberals who have taken over the Democrat Party. Now, these radical liberals have been trying to remove our president from office since the very day he was sworn in. They have disrespected him, and that means they have disrespected us. Jim Hood does not stand with our president. He stands with the radical liberals. When the radical liberals tried to stop the president on border security, Jim Hood stood with the liberals. When the choice was Donald J. Trump or crooked Hillary, Jim Hood stood with Hillary Clinton. And today, with the election just days away, I'm standing with President Donald Trump and Jim Hood is standing with the liberals. Now, Mississippi, it is time to choose. It is time to stand up and be counted. Are we going to stand with President Donald Trump? Are you going to stand with me on Tuesday? Let's stand up to keep America great. Let's stand up to elect a conservative that will be an ally to President Donald J. Trump. I need your prayers. I need your support. And most importantly, on Tuesday, I need your vote. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Tate. Tuesday, go out and vote for Tate. He'll never let you down. And don't kid yourself. Your Second Amendment is under attack. Not with him. It's under attack. So we're also joined tonight by a man who is truly, and I've sort of said it a lot, but he's been a great governor, and he loves your state. He loves the people of this great state. Governor Phil Bryant. Where's Phil? Come up, Phil. Come up. Oh, he's central casting. Look at him. Come here, Phil.
All right, I just want to say one more thing. Is this Trump country? This has been the greatest president of my lifetime. And let me tell you what we always wanted was a fighter. We said somebody should stand up to the Democrats and fight. Well, this is what fighting looks like. Let's go make America great again.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you. Thank you, my Phil. What a job. What a great job. You have to continue that whole thing going forward. So another man who's a warrior, it's a friend of mine. Whenever there's a problem, he's there. He's always there. He'll be right at the front. He is tough. He is smart. He's brilliant, actually. And he loves this state. And he loves you people. Senator Roger Wicker. Roger. Thanks, Roger. Thank you, Roger. And somebody, I'll call her up because, believe it or not, she's running with me. She just ran. I said, Cindy, you just ran. You just won. She said, no, I have to do it again. She's running in 2020. I thought she'd have like 6 years. I said, Cindy, it's only like a year. Cindy Hyde-Smith, she's incredible. She's tough and smart and strong, and she's with us all the way. Cindy Hyde-Smith.
Is this guy incredible or what? We have got a president we can be proud of. And let me tell you something, this Tuesday, Mississippi can send a message to the entire nation. We can let the liberal Democrats with their socialist agenda know it may be alive and well in the heart of Nancy Pelosi, but it is dead in Mississippi. We can let them know we don't want open illegal borders for drug smugglers to come through them. We can let them know that to kill an unborn baby is not a human right. It is a human life. This is a great crowd tonight. Next Tuesday, let's go out and vote. Let's support our Governor Tate Reeves. Let's support these Mississippi Republican candidates. Go out and vote, and let's show the president how much we appreciate him right now.
Great job. Whoa. Fantastic woman. So also with us, two terrific friends of mine that, like Roger and like Cindy Hyde-Smith and like all of them. And Tate, he's going to be right there. He'll be right up there with us, all fighting together. Two incredible people, Trent Kelly, Michael Guest. Incredible people. And your next Lieutenant Governor, Delbert Hosemann. Your next Attorney General, Lynn Fitch. Your next Secretary of State, Michael Watson. Great people. Your next State Treasurer, David McRae. State Auditor, Shad White. Agriculture Commissioner, Andy Gibson. Insurance Commissioner, Mike Cheney, and former governor, a man that nobody's ever heard of in this room, I'm sure. But the truth is, he's a legend in politics and a great guy. He's a great guy, Haley Barbour. Thank you, Haley. Great guy. So with the help of everyone here, we're the hottest economy in the world. We've created over 6.7 million new jobs since the election. If I would have said during the campaign that I would create 6.7 million new jobs since the election, these people would have gone crazy. They would have said horrible things. They would have said it's impossible. Unemployment has reached the lowest rate in over 51 years, soon to be historic. African American unemployment just dropped to the lowest rate ever recorded, historic. Really unimportant to me, the African American youth unemployment rate is the lowest ever recorded in the history of our country. We lifted 55,000 Mississippi residents out of poverty. 55,000. Hourly earnings are up 9% in Mississippi since the election. Under the previous two administrations, we lost 60,000 factories in our country. Under my administration, we've already added nearly 10,000 new factories, and many more are coming in as we speak. To get relief to working families, we passed massive tax cuts, on average $2,000 to $2,500 per family, bringing almost $1 trillion back home to our shores. What's happening? You couldn't get the money. The big companies, they couldn't get their money back, both bureaucratically and from a tax standpoint. They brought back almost $1 trillion now because of us, all put to work. We slashed the largest number in history of job-killing regulations. And we ended the war on American energy. We are now the #1 producer of energy by far anywhere in the world. For decades, you saw corrupt politicians take money from lobbyists to impose catastrophic trade deals. Mississippi lost 40% of all manufacturing jobs after the twin disasters of NAFTA and China's entrance into the World Trade Organization, two of the worst deals ever made by our country. 100,000 Mississippi jobs were wiped away just like that. And that's awful and a big price to pay for Washington's disloyalty to the American worker. That's what it was. It was disloyalty, stupidity, corruption, lots of reasons. But now you finally have a president who is loyal to you, and I am. I'm a fighter for your jobs, for your wages, your factories, your families, and your dignity. We're stopping China from ripping us off. We're stopping all of these other countries from taking advantage of the United States, where we lose our money, we lose our wealth, we lose our jobs, we close our factories. That's not happening anymore. It's reversed. We were the sucker country for years and years, but we are not the sucker country anymore, and they all know it. We're replacing NAFTA, and that was a disaster, NAFTA, with the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, if Nancy Pelosi will ever put it up to a vote, which is questionable. Nervous Nancy, she doesn't want to give the people of our country a victory. She's very busy doing other things, having fun. The USMCA will be a massive victory for Mississippi's farmers and also includes powerful protections for Mississippi auto workers, manufacturers, and everybody else. It's a great agreement. About time we got rid of NAFTA. The do-nothing Democrats need to stop their madness and pass the USMCA right now. The last administration's horrendous Trans-Pacific Partnership would have destroyed the U.S. auto industry. But I proudly, first thing, withdrew from that job-killing calamity. Under our policies, Toyota has just announced a $170 million investment in Mississippi and 400 new jobs at its facility. Did you ever hear of this place? Blue Springs, Blue Springs. Before my election, our leaders used the great American middle class as a piggy bank to fund their delusional global projects all over the world. We take care of other people, we take care of other countries, but we don't take care of our own. They knowingly decimated American manufacturing to promote economic growth in foreign countries. They deployed our military to protect, think of this, immensely wealthy nations, subsidizing their welfare states with your money. I ask those wealthy nations now, I respectfully the other day said to the King of Saudi Arabia, King, we're going to help you, but you got to pay. And he was great. No, he was great. He was great. He said, but nobody has ever asked before. I said, but I'm asking. And billions of dollars will come in. And we're protecting a great ally. We have a country that spends billions and billions of dollars in our country buying military and other things. But we said, you're very wealthy. You have to pay, and they're going to pay. And that's true with many countries, by the way. That's true with many countries. They never respected us. They could never believe it. I said to one country, I have great respect for the Prime Minister of Japan. I said to Prime Minister, I said, how did you get away with this for so long? And he looked at me and he couldn't really answer it, because how the hell did this happen? We're protecting like 94 countries. Ask China, how many countries are you protecting, President Xi? And they look at me like, what a stupid question. We protect one, China. You ask President Putin, how many countries are you protecting, President Putin? And he looks and he goes, Russia. You ask other countries, we're protecting at least 94. In fact, so many they can't even tell me. I've been trying to get an answer for 4 months. So many they can't even tell. It's crazy. But it's all beautiful the way it's happening. A lot of good things are happening. But these same politicians poured precious American blood and treasure into the sands of the Middle East while allowing our cities to fall into disrepair and decay. Our failed ruling class believed it was their right to rule over you, to take your money, to take your jobs, to redistribute your wealth all over the globe wherever they wanted it. But I don't like that. I don't like it. The great sellout has ended, and it ended the day I took the oath of office. That was quite a day. After years of building up foreign nations, we are finally building up our nation. We are finally putting America first. Our policy of never-ending war, regime change, and nation building is being replaced by the clear-eyed pursuit of American interest. It is the job of our military to protect our security, not to be the policeman of the world. Proving the wisdom of this approach, we recently secured a permanent ceasefire in northern Syria without spilling one drop of American blood, not one drop. Actually, I have to be honest, one soldier stepped on a nail. It's true. I said, don't tell the press that because they'll say. But one soldier stepped on a nail. I said, how bad was it? It's okay. I said, don't mention it, please. They always like to mention exactly what happened. You could take it a little bit low-key. Stepped on a nail. Not a drop of blood. And we don't have to defend the borders between Turkey and Syria. They've been fighting for 1,000 years. But what we do is we did keep the oil, if you don't mind. We kept the oil. We kept the oil. And we'll distribute that oil. We'll help out the Kurds and we'll help out other people. We'll also help out ourselves if that's okay. Past leaders' foolish military adventures turned faraway nations into very, very dangerous war zones. Then they demanded that American citizens accept unlimited migration from those terror-afflicted nations and regions. I don't think so. I don't think so. We did not fight them over there only to invite them over here. We don't want to do that. To protect our communities, my administration restricted migration from terror-prone nations and implemented the toughest ever vetting procedures, toughest ever that we've ever had. No issue has ever been so horribly discarded by a party as that issue by the Democrats. They want open borders, which mean crime. They want sanctuary cities, which means crime and drugs and death. After bleeding the middle class dry, Democrats threw open our borders to the world, flooding our communities with poisonous drugs and criminal cartels. Republicans believe in strong borders and safe communities. We are now building a wall. We're building it. We're building it. And you think that was easy? The Democrats, they didn't want that wall. I got money for everything, but when it came to the wall, not 10 cents. Not 10 cents. But we gave the military a lot of money, and we took it from the military, and we took it from here, we took it from there, and we had to go to court. And all of a sudden, we start winning cases. We're winning cases now. Winning a lot of cases. But the wall is going up rapidly. It's going up rapidly, and this is a very serious wall. This is the exact everything they wanted. I went to the Border Patrol, incredible people, and ICE, incredible people, tough people. They love our country. And I said, give me the specifications for the wall. They said, well, sir, we'd like steel, but would also like concrete and would also like rebar. I said, well, what do you want? Which one? So I did all three. Because it's a different form of cutting. You can cut through steel, but you can't through the concrete, and then you can't through the hardened rebar. We got it all. And we also need see-through, sir. Got to see who's on the other side. That makes sense, right? Not just concrete. It's more expensive what we're doing, but we're giving and we're building. We should have anywhere from 400 to almost 500 miles of wall built by the end of next year. It's going up there. In all the right areas. In all the right areas. That was a tough one. And the Army Corps of Engineers is building their hearts out. They're great. They're great people. We believe in keeping terrorists and criminals and drug dealers the hell out of our country. And thanks to our tireless efforts on the southern border, tough place, illegal crossings have dropped 60% since May, and we are faster than ever securing the southern border, and soon it will be, when the wall is completed, secure like it's never been before. And I want to thank the country of Mexico. They right now have 27,000 soldiers on our borders, and 27,000, you know what that is? And they are keeping people out. And I want to thank the President of Mexico. He's an excellent person, great man. And we appreciate it. And the reason is that our Democrats won't even approve things called loopholes. They're loopholes. That's a horrible name, right? That means it's a loophole. That means you can come in illegally and lots of things. Catch and release. You catch them, then you got to release them. By law, you got to release them, or they'll arrest the Border Patrol agent if they don't release. It's crazy. But we could end this in 15 minutes, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They're obstructionists. They're colluders. and we can't let it happen. That's why you have to go with Tate Reeves. You know, Tate's going to send a big signal, by the way. It's a big signal. It's great for you. He's going to be a great governor. It also sends a big signal to these radical left, crazy Democrats. It's very important that Tate wins, very important. We're also fighting deadly sanctuary cities with the help of states like Mississippi, which has banned sanctuary cities because Phil Bryant said we're not going to have them, and Roger Wicker said we're not going to have them, and Cindy said we're not going to have them. Democrat sanctuary cities force the release of dangerous criminal aliens onto our streets. If you want a governor who will stand proudly with the heroes of ICE, and they are heroes, I wouldn't want their job. MS-13, they walk right into those nests. They call them a nest. And they start swinging. You never saw anything like it. I'll say, you know what? Better you than me. Let's see, who would do good? He'd do good, that guy would do good. Most of you wouldn't do too good. No, I mean, these guys are tough guys, and they love our country. Who would do it? They're moving thousands of people from MS-13. These gangs are the worst people. These people, these are not human beings. You know, I said that once before, and this crazy Nancy Pelosi said, how dare you say they're not human? You ever see these people? And they slice people up with a knife because it's more painful than using a gun. And then I have to defend myself when I say they're animals. But you know what? I never changed. I didn't say, oh, I'd like to apologize. I'd like to apologize, crazy Nancy. And you got to look at her district in San Francisco. She's spending all her time on this crap or this impeachment stuff. Take a look at what's happening to the great city once of San Francisco. It's thousands and thousands of tents and drugs and needles and everything you can imagine floating in the streets in the best neighborhoods. Nancy Pelosi, go home and fix your district, Nancy. Go home and fix your district. Go home and fix your district. If you want a governor who will stand proudly with the heroes of ICE and Border Patrol, vote for Tate Reeves. Tuesday, got to get out. You got to get out. You got to send the signal. Let it be a big victory, too. The Democrat Party has never been more extreme, you know that, than it is today. The Democrat health care agenda would obliterate Medicare. I will always protect Medicare for our seniors, and we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions, always. We'll always take care of them. Virtually every Democrat also now supports late-term abortion, ripping babies straight from the mother's womb right up until the moment of birth. Well, the governor of Virginia executed a baby. Remember that whole thing? After birth. Some people never heard of it. He said the baby is born, and then he starts talking to the mother. Nobody ever heard that. That is why I've asked Congress to prohibit extreme late-term abortion, because Republicans believe that every child is a sacred gift from God. Democrats are now the party of high taxes, high crime, open borders, late-term abortion, socialism, and blatant corruption. The Republican Party is the party of the American worker, the American family, the American dream. Nobody has done more for the African-American community than the Republican Party. And we're also the party of Abraham Lincoln. We can't forget that. People forget. Abraham Lincoln, Honest Abe. To lift up distressed communities, we created opportunity zones. So incredible, so successful, including 100 new opportunity zones right now in Mississippi, where money is now flowing in to build and to fix. And Tim Scott, I give him so much credit, from the great state of South Carolina. We passed VA choice and VA accountability on behalf of our great veterans. People said it couldn't be done. VA choice. Our veterans were waiting online for days and weeks sometimes. Now they can go out, choice. They can go out, get a doctor, we pay the bill, and they don't have to wait 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks. We had people waiting in line. They weren't very sick. By the time they saw the doctor, they were terminally ill. Now they go on and they go outside and they find a doctor. And we take care of our great veterans. The great rebuilding of the American Armed Forces has included massive investments in the military and facilities in Biloxi and Gulfport and Jackson and Starkville, and Roger has been fantastic, and Cindy Hyde-Smith has been fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. To protect America's security, I withdrew the United States from the horrible one-sided Iran nuclear deal. It's not the same country anymore. Nothing's easy, but it's not the same. And I recognized Israel's true capital and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. For years, you watched as your politicians apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America, and we are standing up for the people of Mississippi. The next step to victory begins on Tuesday right here in your great state. With your support, we will show the corrupt Democrats that the American people are not ever going to back down from perhaps the greatest victory in political history. And you know, today with the new stock market at an all-time high, I will tell you something, if we didn't win this election, that stock market would be in one half. It was heading in the wrong direction. It was going to fail. And if they ever did anything bad, if they ever do anything bad to us, if they ever succeed in their wildest dream, which we'll never let them happen, that stock market will crash like you've never seen a crash before. And you will not be happy with your 401ks like you're happy right now, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. And I'd like to speak well, but the leadership, they have no clue. They're just very vicious people. Actually, they're sort of mentally violent people. But we've got it under control. It always helps when you didn't do anything wrong. I always say, how do you impeach a president who didn't do anything wrong? So we're going to send a signal by sending a terrific new Republican governor to Jackson. On Tuesday, you're going to get out and you're going to vote and you're going to give up whatever you have to give up. You're going to leave work maybe a little early or maybe get there a little late. Tell your boss I said it was okay. I will give you a pardon if I have to. I'll give you a 1-hour pardon. But with your help, we will lift millions more of our great citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and poverty to prosperity. Together, we will elect a Republican Congress to create a fair, safe, sane, and lawful system of immigration. And you have great congressmen here, and I'll tell you, I want to appreciate it, fellas. Warriors. You're warriors. You are warriors. What was it, 196 for and nothing against, right? That doesn't happen with Republicans. It doesn't happen. I always complain. I always say the Democrats are lousy politicians. They have lousy policies, open borders, sanctuary cities. But they have one thing. They stick together, and they're vicious. The Republicans have great policy. In many ways, they're better politicians, but they're not as vicious Thank you, darling. I appreciate it. They're not as vicious, but they have a tendency to split apart. The Democrats don't seem to have any Mitt Romneys. We do. We do. I don't know. Maybe he'll get better. Maybe he'll get better. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe he'll get better. Just let him be fair, but they don't have that. We will enact trade deals that result in more products proudly stamped with those beautiful, beautiful words, made in the USA, made in America. We will achieve new breakthroughs in science and medicine, finding new cures for childhood cancer, and ending the AIDS epidemic in America. Can you believe that? Within 10 years, it will be over. When they told me that, I said, that's incredible. We're going to end the AIDS epidemic within 10 years. It's funded. Nobody would have thought we could do that, but we're doing it. We'll have it ended in America in 10 years, the AIDS epidemic. Who would have thought? We will defend privacy, free speech, free assembly, religious liberty, and the right to keep and bear arms. Above all, we will never stop fighting for the sacred values that bind us together as one America. We support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. We stand with the incredible heroes of law enforcement. We believe in the dignity of work and the sanctity of life. We believe that faith and family, not government and bureaucracy, are the true American way. We believe that children should be taught to love our country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And we live by the words of our national motto, and we always will. You'll never see it disappear. In God we trust. We stand on the shoulders of American patriots who crossed the oceans, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, dug out the Panama Canal, laid down the railroads, revolutionized industry, pioneered technology, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and today it's greater than ever before. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. That's what we're doing. That's what happened in 2016. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working, we are going to keep on fighting, and we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. You get so tired of winning. I don't know, Mississippi. You know, you're winning. You had the best year you've ever had. You know, you have the best, Mississippi, the best year you've ever had in the history of our country, Mississippi, your statistic. And Mississippi, aren't you getting tired of winning? I guess not. So Phil doesn't come to me and say, sir, please, we're winning too much. The people of Mississippi can't take it anymore. I don't think you'll ever have to make that trip. I don't think he's ever going to have to, and I don't think Tate will ever have to make that trip. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. America is thriving like never before. And ladies and gentlemen of Mississippi, the best is yet to come. Because together we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Mississippi. Thank you.